You're listening to Ozzy's Radio Half Hour. Here is your host, Ozzy. To Ozzy's Radio Half Hour. This is your host, Ozzy. That was the Ramones, We Want the Airwaves. And yes, the hell we want the airwaves. We're coming for yous. No matter what, hell or high water. So, welcome back. It's just on 20 to 11, the 30th of the 1st, 2022, the 30th of January, Melbourne, Australian Eastern Standard Time, coming at you from the northwestern suburbs of Melbourne. Just got a few things to touch on. Going back to punk rock music, the way it used to be. There's no punk rock anymore. There's absolutely no punk rock anymore in this here town anymore. So that is the end of it. There is no way of coming back to it. We've lost. Pardon me. There is nothing punk or anarchist about any of this stuff that is really going on now. That is wholesome in its anarchy at the moment. The real anarchists are us. We're the ones that won't be coerced into medical tyranny, and we are the real anarchists. The song that I grabbed was originally sung by the Ramones. I was watching a movie the other day called Airheads. You might have heard it. It's got a few notable characters in it. Brendan Fraser and couple of notable actors in it. Basically, the synopsis is about a band that wants to make it big, and they get denied access to a record company. The guy gets denied access to speak to a record executive, and all he wants to do is get his demo played on the air. And the band end up breaking and entering into a radio station and holding the radio presenter hostage, and turned out to be a fantastic movie. It's got Adam Sandler in it. I'd recommend it. It's funny as hell. But yeah, I just want to touch on even what's going on lately. Going back to my first episode, that Meatloaf had sadly passed away on the 20th, about 10 days ago. He was heavily involved with the musical mafia. There were struggles in his life to get money as well, unpaid royalties, and he seemed to have a bit of a tough life too. So who knows? Maybe he took the you know what in the arm, and went down the same fate as a lot of other celebrities and all that. So yeah, like what's that going to do? It's just it's a sad thing, but we all know he was involved with the 33. If you know what the 33 is, then you know. If you know, you know. He did have a few, or at least one prophetic song, which was "Life is a Lemon and I Want My Money Back," which very prophetic. If you listen to the lyrics in that song, I urge you to go listen to it and take in the lyrics as well, and see what you can find out of that album. It's Bat Out of Hell 2, 1993, Jim Steinman, Meatloaf, whoever you want to call him. So Novak Djokovic wanted to sue Tennis Australia and the government for what was it, 5 million Aussie dollars. I don't think that's going to happen. The way it is with our courts being closed, and especially the High Court being closed, and they don't want us to set any sort of a precedent. I'm not for or against what his message is. His message is quite good, but when has a high-ranking sports star ever done anything for me? When have they helped me out in a bit of a tough time? This is what we got to start thinking about with all these sports stars that think they know it all and they're gods, and all these people that think they are gods, and they're not. The sporting industrial complex, the Hollywood industrial complex, the government industrial complex, you name it, the business industrial complex is slowly crumbling. It's failing. It's failing under the weight of the truth. Sorry, I've got to clear my throat. This I must have the new variant. I just had something in my throat, but anyway, let's get on with it. So I've got really, we're kind of left in limbo, aren't we? We've created somewhat of an outcast. Or we haven't. Our friendly neighbourhood, government has happily given us our. If you want life to go back to normal, then you've got to take this. So a lot of us aren't standing for that. I've been out of work for about 6 months. I'm starting to get a bit restless. Doesn't mean that I'm going to start. I'm not going to do what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do what I've got to do to get back into it. I'm just saying that this whole thing with it's starting to get really old at the moment. These these mandates are starting to. I think it's going to piss people off, and I think I spoke to a good friend of mine, and we hang out at his friend's house for a game of pool, and he even said that he had an adverse reaction from it, and he's not going to take another one. He's had 2, and he's not going to take another one. So and from what I've been hearing about, every quarter, every 3 months, you got to take another. So I don't know how everyone would feel about that. I haven't even taken the first one, let alone, this whole thing is a joke. And if you've subscribed to my channel, and if you know what I'm talking about, where I am at with this, you'd have to agree that this is all nonsense. This is all rubbish. It's all bullshit. I've been listening to a lot of Mark Passio. If I quote Mark Passio, don't think that I'm a rambling, off my tree conspiracy nut. He is great. He said he's doing a few new videos and podcasts as of late. So Mark Passio, if you can subscribe to him, MarkPassio, Mark Passio. If you subscribe to him, you can order the arc drive through him. He's got a thing going where you pay him, I don't know, 100 or 200 US dollars. You provide the hard drive, a terabyte hard drive. You mail it to him to Pennsylvania in the United States, and he'll send you back a hard drive full of video clips, movies, audio, documents pertaining to the New World Order destruction of our freedoms, the secret societies that enslave us, the Freemasons, secret societies, Eastern Star societies, women's groups, societies, Lions Club, McDonald's, everything. It doesn't matter who they are, they're all involved. So yeah, I just sort of get that off my chest. Mark Passio, you legend. Dale H speaks highly of him too. Doesn't mean that I praise them as the gods or anything like that. They're speaking out about Dale H is speaking out about child sexual abuse and the pedophilia and the this whole thing with this sickness that's going around is basically so that the top end of town don't have to answer to any of their crimes, so to speak. They're not going to answer to their crimes, and I don't know. I have my doubts with the so-called freedom movement, truth movement, baby truthers, Q Trump, whoever. I was once a Q Trump guy, whoever, supporter. What he did for America in those 4 years that he was president, he done well for the economy. He helped us out with our economy. Low unemployment, life was good. I was able to finally go on an overseas holiday to the USA and have a ball. And I predicted that if I didn't go on this holiday, that I even said that to a relative, that I said when I booked the holiday, I said, look, this may be the last holiday for a long time. That's what I said. And now look at us. We the last 2 years we've been locked up in a cage in our homes, and it's kind of this social conditioning that is getting us ready for something bigger. I wouldn't say better, because that will be an overstretch, but something bigger is definitely coming. I don't think it's going to be a great something bigger. It is very concerning to hear that. I think it was Vanessa Valentine was talking about someone that she knew was talking to an electrician that was fitting out an apparent new hospital / quarantine facility, and he said it was massive. He nicknamed it the prison. And what you're going to see, if things keep going the way they are, you're going to see, I think, your Auschwitz 2.0. And I don't want to, I don't want to put fear into everyone's minds, but this guy was open with saying what he was doing, and he was fine about providing this service to help build our prisons and to help build our own prison eventually, because we'll all be put into these facilities eventually. You got to remember, folks, that these people up the top, they don't want us to live anymore. They want us dead. And this is what I'm trying to get people to understand and comprehend what's really going on. And as Mark Passio says, the only law is natural law. Do no harm. That is the ultimate law. Is the only law is do no harm. And if you go by that mantra, you'll get very far. But all these other laws are all man-made. They're not made by God. They're not made by nature, Mother Nature. Whoever you want to call it, God, Mother Nature, the Mother, the Father, the Holy Ghost. Who knows? Look, we're in some. We're in a bit of a situation where we don't really know what's going to happen, but we kind of get a bad feeling what is around the corner. Shout out to good people on YouTube, Ken Rotman, Mad Pyman, Eric Farmer, Joe Dirt, Cami, just a few people that I've met over the channels and on the lives, and hopefully when I get my channel with a few more subscribers, I'll be able to do a bit more videos. Or at the moment, I'm wanting to do this so-called radio podcast. I've been wanting to do it for quite some time, and I think it's only fitting that that this time is the best time to make use of what I've got, and I'm happy to do it. So happy to be on board and trying to make sense of what is really happening and what is really going on, because there's a lot to take in. And like, people are still wearing masks too. I went for a walk around the park today in my local area, and I seen one guy. It was 30 degrees outside. It was hot, I'd say almost 100 degrees for those of you guys playing at home in the US of A. It was hot out there. I wouldn't say boiling hot, but it was fairly warm today. And he was wearing a face covering of some sort, and I initially wanted to say something to him, but what was I going to say? Tell me. If people want to be woken up, they will ask. They will not continue with what they're going through and take off that face covering and not go water following anymore. It's very unfortunate that this has happened. Our flag is not our real flag, nor is the Aboriginal flag as well. The Aboriginal flag is a property of the UN. I hate to say it to all you Indigenous playing at home tonight, whatever. I don't even think we have a true flag, to be quite honest. The only flag that I do see that there is some sort of a truth behind is the Red Duster 6 Aussie Australian flag, the Red Duster 6-pointed star flag. if you type in Steven Spears, StevenSpiers, Steven Spears, in a search engine, you will most likely find him on Rumble now. I think you can find him on YouTube, but he's very hard to find. I think you could possibly do a search on YouTube to find him, but I highly doubt it. He used to be on Facebook, but he was banned, so he basically wrote the white papers explaining how our country has been taken over by the UN and its counterparts for well over 100 years. And 2019 was supposed to be the year that the 99-year lease of our country had ended. In fact, it was 2018. And what happened in 2018 was that a Chinese warship entered Sydney Harbour, and that was declared an act of war because it was a foreign ship that was entering our naval bay and all that, and they docked in Sydney Harbour, and we let them dock. So where like they were asking, I think, for our debts, our money, because we were registered with the IMF, and they came in and they were asking for money, the debts, and now, like, have a look at how much debt we're in now, with all this crap that we're going through. But you got to remember that it's a corporation debt. A good friend I was talking on the phone, he explained it to me that it's none of our debt. You got to remember that it's a corporation debt. It's a corporate debt. It's like you got to remember that the government is exactly like McDonald's. They're, you may as well treat them like that too, because they're just, a corporation is a dead speak. It means death speak. Corporation, oration means to speak. So corp means corpse or body. So it's body to speak, or dead body to speak. It's like when you go to court and they say all rise, it means all rise from the dead. And notice how the judge is wearing a funny wig, and he's wearing a black trench coat. He's basically saying that he's death. He's dressed in black. He's the judge, jury, and executioner. He's the executioner. He's about to execute your will. Your all that. There's a lot of play on words too. That a lot of us don't even know about. You have the word mortgage. Mortgage means mort, which means death, and engage is a pledge. It means death pledge in French. There's so many. You got a birth where a ship births, and then you got birth as in the mother is giving birth to a child. They're all these sea terms that go back, maritime law terms and admiralty law terms that go back centuries to the Venetians and Phoenicians. The people from Venice, Italy, the Venetian, used to be Phoenicians. That's where you get Venetians from. It was words again, PH, Phoenicians, and then it changed to Venetians, or Venetians. You know what I mean, like venisons or whatever. So yeah, this is the whole thing. My God, just I think we're almost up. Time's almost up. But yeah, like I always say, yeah, like it's a bit of a crazy time to be alive, I guess. And what about this whole, finally everyone gets their act together and does a convoy up to Canberra with truckies, Good on them if they can do it. But what you got to do is, instead of setting fire to part of the front of Old Parliament House with the smoking ceremony, I get it, Indigenous Australia. You want to have a smoking ceremony, but I honestly think that how that fire was set, I think it wasn't set by you guys. I think there was an infiltrator that set that on fire. Look, don't shoot the messenger, but it was a false flag. And who knows? Anything could be a false flag. The truth movement could be a false flag. This whole thing, like with the truth movement, I think it's also been set up by government to incite violence. That's why I've only been to a couple of protests, because a lot of them are still looking for answers from Donald Trump, from Alex Jones with InfoWars, and we all know that, even though that they so-called are the truth, or somewhat are the truth, or spread the truth, they are still controlled. They're still controlled media, but at least they're not, ABC or Channel 7. I'm not saying that they're the greatest thing, but they're better than that. But you know what I mean. The truckies thing, if they can do it, good on them. But they have to try harder. They have to actually infiltrate New Parliament House in large numbers, break down the doors, and sit in Parliament. Break down the doors, sit in Parliament, say we're not moving. And same with Old Parliament House. They have to actually sit in the building and stay there, and resist being arrested. Resist being arrested. Tell the police to stand with them, and that's the only way we're going to win back the country. Otherwise, we're done. We're already being done. 90% of the people that are all auto followers here. They've already taken their medicines. It's sad to see that my family and my friends have somewhat have left me to the side, and haven't contacted me or want to get to catch up with me, because I haven't laid down and taken what I needed to be, what they thought I needed to take. So there's a lot of good people out there, and keep doing what you're doing. We will win. It's just only a matter of time. Good luck to all the guys that are in Canberra. Try not to burn down anything, because they're gonna blame us, And see how you go, and let's just hope that things turn out for the better, eh? They drop these stupid vax mandates for jobs, so I can go and work again. I just want to get out of the house and keep busy and keep a routine and go back to work. It doesn't mean that I'm a tax slave auto follower. I am. We all are slaves. It just means I want to go back to where I was before. So on that note, it's about 30 minutes now. So if you like what I'm bringing out content wise, like and subscribe. For any other information that I've said on this podcast radio program, it will be in the description box down below. And yeah, thank you for having me as and listening to me tonight, and we'll see you next episode. Thank you and good night.